Welcome back, everybody.
Well, hello there, youngsters.
Sup?
When we last left off, our two protagonists,
Yeah, not hero. What are we? Pirate.
Not
Our two.
heroes.
Our two
Pro-
mains.
our,
Pirationists.
our protagonists,
Mm.
were being led by. They made friends with some pixies.
Mm-hmm. Friends being a relative term.
I made friends with
Yeah.
pixies.
Yeah, they is a relative term.
Yeah. The singular they.
And they convinced. Well, again, Israel convinced the pixies to lead them to the witch. So we ended off with
We're
the
hoping it's the witch at
pixies
least.
flying off to the distance, right? All depends on how
Spoilers,
happy you
Cam.
made them.
Have any of them dropped dead from Keith repeatedly saying, "I
You
don't
just
believe in
muttering
fairies"?
this under your breath.
Yeah,
No.
just
gonna keep
smashing
trying.
that kill one random fairy in the world button over and over and over again.
Hoping
Good
it
thing we
eventually
didn't
hits
give
one
him
of
that
these.
button for real.
I know. I feel like at one point one of the fairies like
genocide.
falters a little bit. Like, you know how light bulbs flicker sometimes? Like one fairy flickers and he gets excited for just a second and then just like starts
Oh.
it keeps it just continues flying on. It's like, oh, never mind.
Izzy will be distraught if you kill one of these fairies.
How I feel like at some point he like has his pistol out like at his side, like how could I shoot it? Could I?
How big is a fairy compared to a bullet? Or do we have musket balls? We probably have musket balls, right?
Yeah, we have musket
Yeah.
balls.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We're not using the
got those
380 or a 9mm.
those flintlock pistols.
I feel
If you're
like
feeling really fancy, a wheel lock pistol.
Ooh.
I feel like Keith just has like a very large sack of like those little musket balls and like gunpowder on his back that the camera's not seen to this point because it's only been like shooting the front, but like it just
It's
is
always
massive.
just conveniently hidden behind whatever angle he's standing at.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
like you have like one of those old horns of gunpowder, or like what is it? Just like a bag?
I imagine that like you know the horns were normally like ram's horns or something, but this one is like the straight up like the massive.
It's like a
bull
narwhal
horns.
horn.
Yeah, it's like a just
There are woolly rhinoceros on Neverland,
Perfect,
so
there
it
it
could
is.
just be a big old
Just a
rhino
giant
horn
rhino
that's
horn.
filled with gunpowder.
Every now and then you take
So-
a pinch out and just snort it.
oh my. Now that's an oopsie.
That's... he's got like a black ring around his nostril.
What would the content advisory on this be? Would it be like gun violence?
Don't do
or
this at
drugs?
home. That's what it is. Anything
it's
that our
fantasy.
boys do,
Fantasy.
just don't do it at home.
These characters are not role models.
Please don't
No.
tattoo pork on your body.
So the
Oh
pixies,
my.
they lead you through the swamp. Takes a while.
It is
They lead
swampland.
you around bends, up rises, and down dips. And
Ugh.
then about an hour or so later, you kind of reach the edge of the swamp to an area that you guys know as Marooner's Rock,
Mooner's Rock.
where the swamp gradually turns rocky as the ground rises back up out of the water, revealing small, rocky, isolated
How many
islands.
ships are marooned here?
Or
So you don't see any ships.
Well,
is
a
this the
terrible
place
name, then.
where the captain may or may not have tried to drown a certain politically incorrect lady many years ago?
No. But because that politically incorrect lady never existed in this version of
Ah.
Oh, so like in the mirror dimension of the
The
whatchamacallit?
Panverse.
The Panverse, the mirror dimension, the mirror Panverse that exists in the realm that we do not own any copyrights to. Would this have been that place?
still no.
It's a
This-
hard no, buddy.
Well, this whole bit is pretty useless then, isn't it?
Yeah. You gotta no, but that.
So the very first thing that you guys notice when you get here is that the rocks are festooned
That's a fun word.
with, well, it's not a fun
Let me Google
thing.
festooned real quick.
They are bedecked. They are festooned with stone mermaids.
To be adorned. Stone mermaids, you say?
Now,
Yes.
what kind of like is this something where it's like the pretty mermaids that the pirates are like, ooh, or is it like
These like deep
people
sea
stuff?
mermaids.
Yeah, it's like oh.
So this is where the mermaids bring their dead. And it's
So
where they
not
mourn
great.
for their dead.
Ah.
When a mermaid dies, they take it to the petrifying well and let the
Oh,
well
cool.
turn her to stone, and then they take her and they put her up on the rocks.
Israel is fascinated by this.
So is it
Yeah.
just like
Is
rows upon rows of stone statues like in Avatar: The Last Airbender?
yeah,
Oh,
basically.
It's
no.
basically like
Just
it's like
like
a statue garden, but like on the rocks here, with
Mhm.
actual people.
Oh, there's Charlie. Hi, Charlie.
How many?
Stop waving back.
How many mermaids do you know?
You know, he's pointing to a statue.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a
It's
mermaid
just like-
once.
somehow there's one pirate there.
Yeah.
Oh, I
It's
thought
hard
you were
to say.
saying. Oh, I thought you were saying the mermaids take the dead people they've
That's
caught.
they're the dead mermaids.
No. They
Oh,
take they take mermaids who die
oh.
there.
But there is still one random statue of a guy
Somehow
named
a
Yeah,
pirate
Charlie.
it's
ended
just
up here.
like
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
random pirate got
Yeah.
there. Some
He dated a mermaid once, so it kind of just
Didn't
worked
go
out.
well.
No,
if
but they were kind enough to make him a statue afterwards.
if you believe them, every pirate has dated a mermaid once.
Do we
That's like
do we free him?
that's like the first thing you learn in pirating school is to lie about dating a mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's name is Elisa. I dated her for like 2 months.
Is that right?
20 minutes.
If by 2 months I mean that I shot at her with 2 bullets, that is correct.
And she gave me a nice look.
Yeah. Kind of angry but also intrigued, you know, like, oh, who's that guy? who
Who's
just
that man
shot
shooting at me?
Yeah. But also, yeah, no, Charlie's fine. He's dude,
It was
he's
it
fine.
was sort of a
we may
will
need-
they won't they thing.
Keith, we may need to have a talk about consent.
No, it was fun. She threw some rocks back. It was great. Yeah.
Oh, just a good old duel, huh?
No, yeah, she sent me some rocks.
Pen pals.
Via sling.
Do you want me to introduce
So-
you? I can introduce you if you'd like.
Can I want to inspect one of the mermaid statues here.
Okay, yeah, there's a few kind of close to where you guys come out of the tree line.
Yeah, I'm just kind of getting up close, taking some notes, just like really
Do they
fascinated by.
Do they pose
one.
them well, or is it just like a bunch of mermaids like lying dead but statues?
That'd be very depressing.
There's
like this big a pile of dead mermaids.
So upsetting.
they're just like lashed together with
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
they're
rope or
just
something.
They're all in the net.
You know when it like a street like a river fisherman, like a fly fisherman,
Oh,
has
yeah,
all
yeah.
of those fish hanging off of that thing at their waist, just some giant
Oh my
version of
gosh.
that.
I just imagine like the mermaids like, why do we make them stone again? I don't know. We did a while ago, and now we just have it as they like
One mermaid fell in and they said, "Oh, that's pretty cool, actually."
yeah. They just like petrify it, toss it on the pile.
Cracks when it lands.
So there are some that are like in a what an artist would probably call a recumbent pose.
Okay.
They're not just like, it doesn't look like they're just lying there dead, but it looks like they're kind of like lying on a chaise longue or something. Like they're kind of posed
Are there
in
any
an
that are
artistic
in like
or
a state
romantic
of like
way.
disrepair?
No, they're all pretty well taken care
Okay.
of.
Do they seem to be maintained, or this is just like they just last that long?
It's not necessarily maintained. That like where the way they pose them on the rocks and things, there's not like a lot that's working to erode them besides, I guess,
Just
wind
swamp.
and rain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're not, and none of them are really submerged
Okay.
so much as they are perched up on the rocks.
Gotcha. Well, Keith.
So when you guys come out of the tree line, one of the first things that you see is a sort of hunched figure like berobed,
Berubid.
talking to a couple of live mermaids who are kind of working on setting up a new statue.
Keith,
Uh,
don't shoot.
Do you think that's the witch?
Well, given that there is A, a robe, and B, a hunchback, I'm going to go with yes.
The robe is very mossy.
Yeah.
Oh, and moss, too? That's absolutely the witch.
So
Lichenous, mossy. She's got like a stick. The whole shebang.
So I think Keith, like, it cuts back to the graph paper with
my
the
gosh,
crayon
yeah.
drawings, and like it has kind of like
Cut to Keith's brain.
the blacksmith, like with a little box next to him, and the box is checked off, and now like Swamp Witch with like a little stick figure of like a Swamp Witch little box, and just suddenly gets checked off, and there's one more that needs to be checked off. So it's like, or I'll go one more after this. So I've got to make sure that they're all fresh. How to be nice. What would Captain James B. Hook do?
James Beverly Hook.
James Elizabeth Hook.
James Bullywinkel Hook.
And so I feel like in an effort to try to be properly charismatic and deceitful, Keith is going to like look into a puddle and like do the equivalent of like brushing his hair back, except he's bald, so just kind of like patting down his bald head.
He does the thing where he licks his fingers and does his eyebrows.
Oh yeah. He makes his jaunty hat a little bit more jaunty and kind of like straightens his vest and his like his wife beater undershirt.
He tips his hat to an angle where it shouldn't, by any normal like reasonably should not be
Physics
able to
should
stay
not
on his
stay
head.
on,
Yeah.
But it's just like at a 45-degree angle on his head.
He definitely does a Terry Crews and like makes his what are those called?
Pecs?
His
Pecs.
His pecs just like jiggle a little bit. All right, smooth, gonna be smooth.
Yeah,
He
no
like
shooting.
starts them jiggling, but they don't stop.
Constantly bouncing right there.
Right.
Oops.
So I
Yep.
picture
eyes are
him
up here.
as not really being like jacked, but being
Yeah.
like old timey fat fit. Like
Yeah. Fat, strong. Yeah.
Just like
Yeah.
like Michael Chiklis, just like big chest.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you're like a big stomach, but it's like solid as a rock at the same time. Like whenever you actually push
Right.
up against it, like
Like kind of a power lifter kind of.
Yeah.
How
Oh,
they
for
just
sure.
they just kind of look fat, but
Just
they're
a
actually the
beefy boy.
strongest guy in the whole world.
yeah.
But no, yeah. So you see, presumably the witch talking to these mermaids. She's using some kind of spell to sort of help them position their.
I lean over
statue.
to Keith real quick and I say, "Do you know if it's impolite to like yell inside of a mermaid graveyard, or like what are the customs surrounding mermaids?"
What can I roll to find this out? Because I feel like he might know, but is there any way
I mean, you've been around for a while, right?
If-
Like, yeah.
If you feel like he would know, then that's fine.
I feel like he
I'll
would
leave
know,
it
but
up to
Sam,
you whether
the player
you
does not know. Oh, you want me to improv? Okay, sweet.
yeah come up with something.
All right. Well, actually, they only really sing, so you got to sing.
See, I feel like you're pulling my leg, but I also might it also just be true. So I will give it a shot.
Yeah, well, I'm not. I promise you, I'm not. I don't want to be stoned. Look at Charlie. Charlie didn't sing. One of the reasons the relationship didn't last.
As the DM, it behooves me to remind you that both of you have a musical instrument.
Yeah, I pull out my accordion and strike a nice jaunty little tune, and I start singing.
Is jaunty what you want to go for?
Jaunty's what I want to go for.
No,
memorial service.
They hate jaunty.
Oh, they actively like putting them to rest.
Yeah,
What?
it's like
Oh, never mind. Okay, hang on.
they're-
No, not
yeah,
jaunty.
this
Yeah,
is a
not-
place
I
where
give it
this is
a
the place
dirge.
where they come to mourn.
I give it a dirge. It is a dirge. And I start playing the Chopin Funeral March on the accordion. And I just kind of waltz gently over there as I'm playing in beat. And like stop right in front of the group of them there, and then play a nice sad slow chord to finish off. And then I kind of just like put it behind my back, and I just look up at them with my arms like crossed in front of me.
You're just like, ta-da. You have definitely gotten all three of their attention. The two mermaids and the witch all turn to look at you. And the mermaids both like look at each other, and then one of them goes, "Now, who are you?"
Israel Pickens is the name. My friend and associate Keith over there is also here, but he didn't join in on my plan.
Cut
Oh,
to Keith,
he's
like
like
really
walking
small
out like
in the distance.
he's like, "Oh, pardon my lady sweet, we walked here on our feet. Pardon our bad interruption. We know you're having a sadness eruption."
they
Dearly beloved,
kinda
we are
get-
gathered here today to mourn the loss of what is this mermaid's name right here?
Melissa.
I didn't come up with a name.
You didn't name your dead
Melissa.
NPC? Come on.
Oh,
I named all three of the fairies.
she
But I
looked
didn't
like a
name her.
Melissa.
Melissa?
Yeah.
Sonatina. Her name
Sonatina.
was Sonatina.
Oh, so close.
So close. We are gathered here to mourn the loss of our dear Sonatina here. Would anyone like to say a few words?
The mermaids both kind of harmonize together like a kind of a mournful song.
Israel tears up.
It's brief, but probably the saddest thing either of you have ever.
Yeah, no, I'm just weeping at this point.
I feel so bad, 'cause this lady is dead.
Uh,
Oh, dear. Yeah.
Only quality content here at Minions and Misfits.
The best content. Israel is just full on crying and kind of steps back and tries to wipe the tears and just kind of looks up to the witch and kind of gestures to the body.
right. She hasn't said anything yet, but she looks both of you up and down, and in kind of a soft, sort of matronly voice, she says, "Now, what brings the two of you here?"
Well, I wouldn't want to discuss business, at the funeral here, but we are actually on the look for you. So once we're
What?
finished up here, we'd be happy to kind of talk with you a little bit and have a little discussion.
Well, I believe we were just finishing up. Isn't that right, girls? The mermaids both look at each other and kind of nod, like they understand what the witch is, like the subtext of what the witch is
Mhm.
saying, and they dive into the water and swim away.
They chuck the statue onto the pile. Just like, okay.
It's just they like
eat
swim
it.
down and then come back up
Yeah.
and just
Aye.
hurl it.
Another just
Uh,
another just statue of a mermaid lying prone.
Now, out of character, what our goal was to find the witch and do what with the witch?
Say hi.
Excuse me. Michael wanted you to find
Mm-hmm.
any like sign of
And they
his
last
siblings.
saw her.
That he doesn't know if the witch is her.
But there's a pretty
But-
good suspicion.
He gave you this rumor to act
Okay.
on, basically.
And then we're assuming that even if it's not her, then maybe she might know something, but it's almost definitely her. So.
Right. And as she turns to you, some of more physical details that you notice include
Yes, please.
that she is quite old.
Besides being mossy, what else do we got?
She wears a pincushion on one of her wrists.
Okay.
Let's see what other.
All the better to sew my mouth shut with.
She's got a walking stick. I'll show you.
Is it like a
the,
walking stick
the-
or like a staff or like what kind of vibe?
It's like a walking stick. I'll show you. The
Oh,
picture of her
perfect.
in the
That is a
book.
witch right there. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's a swamp witch. If there
That's a
ever was
swamp
one.
witch.
You said she was old. That is decrepit. She
Yeah, yeah,
is-
that's yeah. We're past old.
She's scary beyond all reason. Just what all of the lines from the Emperor's New Groove, what he says about Yzma can be used
Yes.
to describe this witch.
Right. So she, after the mermaids swim away, she turns back to you two and says, "And what business would you have with an old woman like me?"
Keith goes, oh, and it just kind of like holds back, like just involuntarily reacts just that way, but it's kind of like actively trying to not
I'm sorry.
react.
He has Tourette's. Don't worry about him.
So beautiful.
There you go. That's better, buddy. Um,
Mm.
well, Madame, I mean, I don't want to call you witch. What should I call you? My name's Israel Pickens.
Keith Thompson.
Keith, are you okay? Did you drink some swamp water again?
No, I'm fine. Yeah, that.
I keep telling you, don't drink the swamp water.
I know. Oh, I know.
So close. Okay. So she looks at you for a moment, and she gives kind of like a sort of a sad smile, I guess, and she says, "My name is Wendy Myra Angela Darling."
Oh, well, isn't that wonderfully convenient? Because... What's that, Keith?
Oh, I was gonna say cut to the graph paper and a big old check mark just appears.
We were actually sent here on behalf of somebody. That somebody would be one Michael Darling.
Her eyes kind of light up. Is Michael sent you here?
Yes.
Truly.
Truly. Yeah, well, I would not lie to you, madame.
Super nice guy. Yeah.
Yeah, he was wonderfully hospitable and very helpful to us. He,
Well moisturized.
Truly, yes. You should try it. He sent us this way because he was very much looking for his siblings and knew that there might be some chance of reunion of some sort, and heard that there was a rumor that there may have been a sibling down this way. And so we were off on our way to find you with our young, fit, adventuring bodies.
Oh, I'm so
See the
happy
bumping
to hear that
paths.
he's alive. I hadn't heard anything about him in so long. You've brought joy to an old woman's heart, truly.
Glad to hear. He has been thinking about you every day.
Do you know
Only-
where your other brother is?
I'm afraid I don't. I haven't heard anything from John, and perhaps even longer than I've heard anything from Michael.
What happened
John?
to separate the three of you?
Yeah. You all pannies. Are you still a panny? And his hand goes to his pistol, which he shoved behind his back, trying to be polite. His
She
hands
kind
start
of
creeping
ignores.
towards-
She kind of ignores Keith. She's like, I suppose it was just time that separated us from each other.
Mm.
As we grew older, we went our separate ways and then lost track.
How long
The
have you
island
been
is-
here?
Oh, I've found that keeping count is less helpful than you might think.
Hmm.
That means
As
you don't
for-
know.
As for Peter, well, it's been a long time since I've seen him too, but he does still hold a place in my heart.
I'm sure. I mean, once you make that kind of connection, they always live in you in some way or another, right?
You understand completely.
Well, would you like us to take you back to Michael? We can direct you that away and escort you a little bit.
Oh, there's no need for that. I'm fine where I am. I'm too old to travel, but if you
Nonsense.
Wouldn't
Now,
mind
you just
if
got
you-
so excited about all this.
Yeah, a giant bag. We can just throw you in it.
No,
and
Keith,
we'll head
Keith.
that- I am being polite.
You're trying. It's well-intentioned.
Please, can we put you in a bag?
That is genuinely the first time I've ever heard him say the word please.
I believe you.
But there's no need
No,
for bags, Keith.
I'm-
We have spiders.
I'm afraid I wouldn't know what to say to him even if we did reunite.
You would
But
say, hello,
I
it's
would-
good to see you. And then you give him a big hug, and then you would reconnect about all the things you've lost over the years, over a nice cup of tea, which he has.
I will say his place smells better than this, and there's fewer dead mermaids.
I
Well,
think
my role
I think what Keith is trying to say is that you could use a change of locale.
I'm, this place is as much part of me now as home once was. This is my home now. I help the mermaids. I keep the swamps safe.
Now,
Tell
I would
me-
argue
the-
against that
keep the
second point
wildlife
because
safe.
we had a heck of a time getting down here through the swamp.
I mean, but do
Well-
you live here all alone?
I'm never truly alone when when you're in Neverland.
Yes, but in a much more real and legal sense, you're alone, right?
I would still say not. I have my pixie friends. The pixies kind of fly out of the trees and
Yes,
kind
they
of
were very helpful.
do like a flyby. I have the mermaids. I have everything that I could want here.
Except for your
How
family.
far are we from Captain Hook's ship?
Like the other side of the island.
Ah, crap. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, everything except for
shall I-
your family.
It's been so long since I've had my family.
Never too
I
late
would-
to reconnect.
I would love for you to take a message to Michael for me, though.
Well, why don't we do one better? We just grab a little spider and haul you on over, huh?
We'll just kind of put your old bones up on the spider and it'll take you up.
And then
Come on,
if,
you old bag, let's go.
We can bring you. We can always bring you back. You don't have to leave here forever. But I'm sure it would do both you and Michael a lot of good to reconnect in person.
Absolutely. I mean, come on, you're gonna die soon. Wanna see your brother? Don't wanna cry, but you might die, so go and see your brother.
The mermaids are gone. You don't need to sing anymore.
That's true, yeah.
No, so she kind of responds by singing her own song.
Oh, never mind.
It's sad, but not quite in the same way as the mournful song that the mermaids sang.
Is it because it's
I
just
want-
bad? It's like not a
Yeah.
good song.
No, it's just a different kind of sad.
A bad middle school musical audition.
No, no.
I want each of you to make me a willpower save.
Oh, I'm good at those.
I
I rolled a 1.
matched it. What does that mean?
Then you're good. Is
Sweet.
equal or under. You can sort of
I've never been so
feel
excited to roll a 1.
I rolled a 13.
right. You can sort of feel Israel. You just hear a song basically, but Keith, you can sort of feel something nudging at your mind. It's not like powerful, but it feels like it's basically trying to nudge you away from what you're trying to do, basically.
Well, that's called fear. And courage is the absence of fear.
Fear is the little death.
He just starts reciting the Orange Catholic Bible. That's a deep cut.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't planning on kidnapping the witch, but I guess now he is. So he's gonna go ahead and be like, "Well, so you're not planning on coming, huh?"
How about I make you a deal?
We do like deals.
He's like halfway pulling the net out of his bag. Like, yeah, what's the deal?
I forgot you had a net. Down there in the water, there's an elephant clam. In that clam is a pearl. If you can bring me that pearl, then I will go with you.
This sounds like a test that's not meant to be passed.
That's true. And I think Keith would probably push Israel into the water to see.
You know I can't swim.
Well, yeah, to just want to test. Ugh. If you want, should we make a? I feel like he would do that, but if you don't like, we can make a contest over it.
I mean, I wouldn't even have the chance to react. I'm just in.
Right, yeah. I feel like Keith would be like, yeah, that makes you sink better.
Yeah.
Don't worry. He's wearing clothes. That helps him get down deeper. So,
I guess I'll give it my best shot.
while he's diving down, just Keith and the witch standing there. Come here often?
Do I need
So
like
you're
a
a witch, huh?
strength swim?
How's that working for you?
What's the moss feel like?
So
No, you
is
don't
the
have to-
moss like growing inside your eye, or is that just like decorative?
You don't have to make a swim test, really. I will have you make another willpower check
Oh,
for me.
good. Oh no, that's a nat 20, my friend. That is a failure if there ever was one.
Oh, putty. All right, so
Oh, putty.
so since
Oh, buddy.
since Israel is a newer member of the crew,
Yeah.
he hasn't quite gotten into the undead pirate mindset yet.
Yeah.
So as soon as your
Panic.
head dips below the water, you still reflexively like breathe in,
Yep.
and after that it's just panic.
My fight or
from
flight.
there.
Yeah, just kicks in. And
Yeah.
like, "Ah, oh."
Keith definitely would pull him up then.
So you're just
I'm just
sinking.
flailing. Yeah, just.
Sinking and flailing.
Keith would pull him up with the same kind of reaction that a parent who's really tired of their kid being at the pool. Just like, oh, it's fine.
Let me see.
Just one-handed.
Let's see how tall of a rock you just pushed him off of.
How many feet?
Okay, so it's about 3 feet.
Oh, that's not bad. Okay.
How
I'm
long
gonna
is
say-
your
little bit-
arm?
It's a little bit too long to reach.
Yeah.
but
How
I
long
will
is
say that
Keith's
Keith
arm?
does. If this is like being portrayed in cartoon, Keith does have comically oversized arms. But
Like a
that being
gorilla.
said, what check can I make to try to not let this guy drown?
you
that I
could
just
dive
shoved
in
into
after
the
him.
water.
Oh, okay. He'll dive in
Um,
after him. Like, oh, excuse me.
Considering he's flailing and sinking and not like you could reach towards him, but he would not be reaching towards
Yeah,
you.
I have no idea where you are.
Well, I guess Keith is thinking corpses float easier than alive people. But let's see how it goes. He will try the path of more resistance before he takes the path of least resistance.
Does he like jackknife in, or does he just like cannonball?
I feel like he actually does know how to dive. Like it's kind of like that scene in Pirates of the Caribbean where it's like, oh well, I guess, and so he just
Yeah.
like jumps in. Do you want me to do a will, dex, or strength?
Let's do I guess do a strength check to see if you can keep hold of
Yeah,
Israel
F-
while he's
flailing
flailing.
is real.
I passed, but I have rolled an 11, and my strength is 17, so I passed pretty easily.
Okay. Yeah, so you managed to get a good grip on him and just kind of sort of hold him still. You just
Yeah.
sort of like bear hug him basically.
Can I kind of like
Because-
chuck him onto the pile of mermaids?
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. just-
So
Three-
because you know that you don't technically have to breathe under the water, but he clearly
You
forgot about that.
Yeah.
yeah.
Or just hasn't tried it because he doesn't know how to swim.
So yeah, he like just one arm throws Israel onto the pile of dead mermaids, and kind of just sinks down to the bottom with his arms crossed, looking annoyed,
Is just like
like tapping his foot, like all right, let's get going.
Israel is just like draped across the arms of a mermaid statue, like a painting.
Oh yeah. Wheezing for breath that he doesn't need.
Right. So yeah, you sink down to the bottom, and it's like basically Keith's just like it's like elevators down into the frame, and the camera like dolly out, and the giant clam is just like right next to him.
Oh, perfect.
Is this a clam that we know is like something that fights back, or is it literally just a big clam?
It's
One way to find out.
it's exactly what you would expect from a big clam. Like it will attempt to clamp down if you're not careful. And you've heard of pirates just like getting stuck.
Luckily, you're big and strong.
Well, then I guess his attempt would be he would try to like, because he's definitely done this a few times. pry open the clam and get inside. And if it closes, at least he's not like stuck like in the maw, I guess, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, you won't be bisected.
Yeah, so he's
Right.
gonna position himself hopefully so it won't close at all. And he's gonna use his
Okay.
scimitar to try to like just cut down the middle just to like get any moss or anything off. Again, rolling his eyes, annoyed the entire time. Just like, oh, can't believe I have to do this myself. And kind of,
To be
He's
fair,
gonna-
I would not be much help here.
yeah,
Alright.
fun.
Make me another strength check for that part for prying the jaws open.
Ooh, a 2 against my 17, which is almost a really good success.
Yeah, so with the Scimitar as leverage, you manage to just like it's just like 2 swift motions and you just crack the seal sort of and then just start prying it open. Now so how do you intend to
And you
hold
take
it
Israel's
open?
limp body and put it inside the clam and shut it and leave me there forever.
How do I intend to leave it open?
Yeah, what's your next move?
Stick the trumpet in there.
Oh, I never did like karaoke nights. You're gonna pull his trumpet and just like jam it in the middle, and
Okay.
while he's doing that,
Those
sheathe the scimitar and
trumpets,
grab
bro.
the pearl.
Okay. Make
What's
a
the tensile
dex
strength of a trumpet?
right. Make a
dex.
dex check for me. Yeah.
Oof, I fail. Not too badly. I fail by 2 because I rolled a 13 and my dex is 11.
All right. So describe how is he reaching in? Are you still trying to get all the way in? What's the
The mechanism.
visualize the motion for us?
So he kind of like he puts the trumpet in place like very carefully Indiana Jones style, and he is like holding the trumpet in place and reaching into the core of the clam with his other arm. Again, most of his body inside the clam, but his arm still kind of in the maw, and he manages to get his
Take the weight of
hand
his arm.
on the pearl.
Okay.
But then he dislodges it just enough for it to clamp down on his arm, and
you have
you
the
just
perfect thing to use here that we didn't use.
he just
Prosthetic leg.
he wouldn't use that. That's his valuable.
The prosthetic leg probably would have just bent at the knee. and
Yeah.
popped out.
Yeah, okay.
But as it shuts down on his arm, the camera just cuts to his face and his eyes go bug-eyed and his mouth opens to swear, and cut to the very surface where it's just Israel making small talk with the witch, and a few bubbles come up, and you just hear every time a bubble pops, just expletives come out
Just
of
a
it.
new expletive.
And then
And you
the
see
ar-
Israel like
his,
wince.
his like his forearm just floats up to the
Yes. Luckily,
Israel looks
it's his
over and he
left
sees that,
forearm,
he's like,
not his right arm.
well, that's not good.
So
Has this
I guess
happened
down
before?
there.
He looks over to the witch. Has this happened before?
So is this the type of thing? I guess this
Many
is a world
times.
building question where it's like, okay, well, I guess that means I can't have an arm until tomorrow.
Do you feel
Or
the
is this
pain
like,
still?
oh, I'm sure he does. But or is this like oh well, that's actually my arm's gone.
No, so your arm will like eventually reattach itself.
Probably
when
not
you,
the first time you've lost a limb.
Yeah. Okay.
Right,
Well, in that
yeah.
case, he takes the prosthetic leg
It'll-
because now he's fully inside. He's gonna take the prosthetic leg and just kind of put it on his arm. So now he has one complete right arm and basically
An arm leg.
an arm leg that has 2 different points of
Multiple articulations.
yeah, he has multiple articulation because you know how your arm is really like 2 pieces, is your forearm and your other arm. He still has like the leg begins at his elbow, so
Yeah.
it's extra long. And with that, he's just
and
gonna
it's double. It's got 2 joints.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
quadruple
So
jointed.
it's got his elbow and then the knee joint on the leg. So it's just like
It bends in all the wrong ways.
he's gonna just curl the pearl up under that arm. And he didn't really want to
wrapped
shoot his
around.
pistol underwater because it hasn't worked well in the past. But at this point, it's like he's gonna shoot it into not into the shell because it's gonna bounce off, but into like the actual guts of the clam, just to see what happens.
okay.
Just because he's wondering if he can kill it.
Okay, so this is since you are using a flintlock pistol and you are currently submerged in water.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was hoping you
When
wouldn't
you
remember that.
when you when he pulls the trigger, it just sort of clicks
You just hear a little
and nothing happens.
Yeah.
For comedic effect, we'll say the
a
ball
singular
just
bubble.
rolls out of the barrel and sinks to the bottom.
Uh,
Keith's just like puts his one remaining hand on his hip, just
kind of goes fine, oh fine, and grabs his scimitar and just starts like shanking the inside of the clam
Shanks its way out.
with his other arm leg, just have like again curled around the pearl in a very unnatural and crab-like way, but is just shanking the clam with a scimitar, like holding the scimitar upside down, just like carving it up.
okay. So as you start like carving into this clam, it does like start to pop open, but as you're looking down and like stabbing into the muscle part of it, you also see that sort of underneath it, as you start cutting away at it, there's actually a hole, like a passageway that kind of leads down.
Oh.
You can't quite see anything in it other than just like coral and rock walls, but it looks big enough for a person to go down. You're not sure where it leads, but
He's gonna go for it. He's gonna work his way down. He's gonna put the pearl inside.
Sans arm.
Oh yeah, no, with his prosthetic arm.
okay.
Prosthetic leg arm, I should say. He's gonna stuff the pearl inside his
The
pants
leg
because,
arm.
again, comically oversized pants. Just shoved the pearl in there and is working his way
Right.
down.
Let's see. I gotta find
Just got
the
giant
page for where it
testicles.
leads to.
I should say that the leg arm is working unusually well. You can tell he's probably done this before.
The larm.
The alarm.
The alarm.
Not the larm.
Yeah, let's see where it. I know where it comes out, but I don't know where it comes out.
Which
Oh.
section?
Yeah. This.
What is Israel doing with the arm? I imagine he's like,
Oh, I just looked at it when it floated up, and I was like, oh dear. But I'm not like grabbing it yet.
Yeah, let's cut back
It's just kind
to
of floating there.
as Keith descends into the passageway. Let's cut back to Israel and Wendy.
So, you lose arms often during this whole endeavor?
He just does the same thing Keith does. He's like, "So you
Yeah.
come here often?"
Fish much? Now, you can tell me honestly, I won't be upset, but is this like a real test, or is this well, I'm going to give these fools a little task that they couldn't possibly handle, so they won't have to do anything with me?
who are you again?
My dementia's acting up pretty hard right now.
It's not even Wendy. It's just
She-
an old woman
she
who's
kind
like
of-
sending people into the pond.
She kind of gives you a wry smile, and she's just like, "Well, I'm not exactly keen to walk across the whole island with a couple of pirates now, am I?"
Understandable, but I would also argue that I'm not exactly a stereotypical pirate. I hold no allegiance to the captain.
Then what exactly has you joining his crew?
Honestly, it's a matter of interest, matter of knowledge. No other way to get to Neverland, and no other way to explore the mystic arcanum that resides here. I am more of an observer on this island than I am anything else, just kind of looking to enjoy all the magic that's here and learn everything I can about it.
I must say that's rather noble of you.
I wouldn't go that far, but thank you. But
I would advise-
my compatriot here doesn't know that exactly, so I wouldn't. I mean, he knows that I'm not your average pirate, but he doesn't know that I hold no kind feelings towards the captain. And I kind
I
of look
would
over at the arm
advise you-
floating.
I would advise you not to get too close to the captain or let the captain get too close to you.
I would prefer it that way.
I'm quite sure you know of what his plans for Neverland are.
Yeah, they're not great.
If he has his way, there may be a significant reduction of magical things
Indigenous
on this
life.
island.
Yeah.
Of magical things on this island for you to observe.
Yeah, creatures, objects, all of it. They would, I have a feeling a lot of those things would start either vanishing or dying.
Yes. What I mean to say is, you're walking a dangerous line, and you could easily fall on the wrong side of that line.
Oh, truly. Yeah, it's something I'm very aware of. I appreciate your words of insight here.
And she sort of, like, kind of hums a lullaby, and it, like a sort of, it looks like an air bubble coming up from the water, but it comes up around Keith's arm and just, like, floats it over to you.
Oh, well, I thank you. He'll be needing that later.
I'm sure he will. And
It
if
just
what I
like
suspect
it just like makes the clamps
makes
down
Keith's,
as though it's like a
I was,
puppet, and just kind of like looks at both of you.
I was gonna say Keith's phantom limb starts itching.
Yeah.
Why does my arm feel all floaty?
What is this?
But so she continues on after the arm floats over to you, and she's, now, if what I think has happened, your friend found the passageway that leads to the coral caves.
Oh, what are the coral caves?
Well, the coral caves are where the mermaids live.
Oh. I don't think he's going to have a grand old time down there.
If you'd like, I can help you get to the other end of the coral caves to meet him.
That would work fine for me.
And she kind of snaps her fingers, and one of the fairies, like, flies by and dusts you
Ew.
lightly. I imagine Israel would kind of, like,
Yeah.
sneeze. And when he does sneeze and opens his eyes back up, he's about 10 feet higher off the ground.
Whoa. A little warning would be nice.
Sorry, dearie. I just wanted to see the look on your face.
But I hope it was worth it.
Keith's hand is just responding to all this in like a Muppet manner, just like freaking out, like going, like opening up wide, and it's like yelling for help like a Muppet, but it's just nothing's coming out.
Right, there's
Just
no
unsettling.
voice box.
Yeah.
So yeah, if there's anything a good student of magical lore on Neverland knows, fairy dust is what you need to fly.
Never flown before. This is a whole new experience.
And as you
Think
look
happy little
down,
thoughts. Happy little trees. Happy little trees.
as you
Does
look down to where Wendy is, she is looking up at you and sort of points off in a direction westwardly.
All right.
And she says, "You'll find the entrance to the caves over that way."
No more specific directions besides that?
You'll know them when you see them. Look for the waterfall and go a little bit past it.
Okay.
I imagine the forearm is like
Sorry.
flying
It's before the
alongside you
waterfall.
now.
She give me terrible directions.
Scratch-
She's trying to kill me.
Scratch that. She says, "If you see the waterfall, you've gone too far."
Got it. Okay. And I start like kind of like trying to swim in the air.
You'll get the hang of it. Don't worry. Her voice just sort of starts to fade off into the distance.
Let me try that again, and I just kind of like envision myself moving that direction.
Right. And the last like glimpse you take behind you, you just see her sort of like Homer Simpson meld into the tree line of the swamp. Hey everyone, thanks for listening to Minions and Misfits. If you like what you heard, please be sure to rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. You can also follow us on Facebook, on Twitter as @MinionsMisfits, and on Mastodon as MisfitsPod@dice.camp. See you next week.